Hi there, ho there. It's FTG Thursday on the Morning Night Live, and I'm here, and you're here, and we're all here, and well, we're not all here because a bunch of people are still probably getting the notifications, but hey, whatever it takes. You know, I had a plan for today. I was gonna try to focus on anything but Afghanistan. There's plenty of FTGs to go around, and there's some that we'll be getting to as we go along, but I keep seeing these interviews with the president, and it's very, very clear to me that the president of the United States wants to change the subject, but it ain't changing. And there's an interesting point in this interview he had with George Stephanopoulos that I'm wondering. When they did this interview, I don't think they gave us the raw feed of the interview. I think it was edited in a way. Let's put it this way. I am wary about this clip that everyone's talking about. And only because it almost seems like it now granted, it is Sundowner Joe, but it almost seems like a trap. It's a trap. I should have that. That's what I should have. That's a that's a soundbite I should have. It's a trap. But anyway, we're gonna go through just some of the stuff. I got some stuff from the Discord. I got some stuff from Ace, and who knows what this rambling mess is gonna be today. But I know that there will be, for sure, at least one giant FTG. Oh, well, obviously more than one, but the one in particular that is the man that you white men all chose to be our president. Oh my gosh, play the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, PDawgKnight. Yeah. Stop the music. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as PDawgKnight on the internet, and welcome back to the Dawg Knight Channel on this lovely Thursday, the 19th of August, 2021, the 649th episode of the Morning Night Live. I hope you're having a wonderful morning. I know that I am. Got back here in time to set up the show, and I think I did everything right. So we'll just run with that. And people are popping into the show, and I like that. I appreciate all of you who got the message and are getting here. Make sure that you. Oh, by the way, real quick, I'm going to do this right off the top. Thank you, Tyler F. and Renee Mayette, who immediately retweeted the show out on Twitter. Please share the stream. That's the only way we grow here for some reason, because I don't think my videos and stuff get pushed out much. One, because it's a news and commentary show. Twitter likes to promote the mainstream media. So if you look up something, you're not going to get my channel, right? Occasionally, when people do comments, there are a few people who show up after the comments, and so we do get a tiny bit of algorithm there, and I think that's what they're focused on is interactions right now, not so much keywords. So I stopped putting keywords in my streams, and you know what? I'm happy that we grow organically too, so it's not that big a deal. Hopefully when I actually have a regular time where I start getting guests on here, maybe I'll kind of get some residual followings from shared followers, and also you'll meet some new people that you may not have already known that are pretty cool to listen to. So hopefully that'll I'm working on that. I'm so busy working on my other channel right now that I have to keep a balance. So I want to make sure that this show continues to be a quality show, but I also want to I'm having so much fun just putting together this first video for my second channel. Well, not first, but it's actually a third, fourth, or something like that. But I'm having so much fun doing it now that we've kind of refocused what we're going to do for that channel. That there's a balancing act, and then also when you doing this thing with the the one vehicle for a while. Although the good news is my engine has been ordered. It takes about 3 weeks to get it, so I'm probably been doing this about 3 weeks and 3 days until we have 2 vehicles again. So I'm happy about that. Not happy about the price tag, but it is what it is. You know, that's sometimes why you take out loans and shit. So anyway, welcome to the show. It is FTG Thursday. If you don't know what FTG means, well, you haven't been here much, because I think everyone in the chat knows what that is. And if you don't, ask someone in the chat. They will tell you. Let's say good morning to the gang, though. 27 people in the house already. Man, that's fantastic. If you haven't hit the like button yet, you'll figure it out. Yes, just go ahead and do it now, because I'm telling you, this is going to be some quality shit. Anyway, let's start with the obligatory good mornings. Good morning first in the chat today, Mike Savage, who gets the bell, and thank you for being here. You know what? And it was so close today. Literally, it was like bam, bam. Mike Savage, Gunfox 61. So Gunfox, this bell's for you, sir, because you deserve it also. And also for all the work you do on the Discord server. I appreciate that so much. Also, good morning to Jonathan Peterson, James Colley, yada, yada, yada. Also, good morning, Don Julio, Gulf City Biker and Trash Man. Good morning, Selecta Boy.
Yeah, boy.
Also, good morning to Legit Low Talkers in the house. Lurking Gophers here. Let's see. Tarai Deos, I hope you're feeling better. You don't have the coof. You just got the shot. That's why they make you wait. Isn't it something like that? Anyway, also good morning to MC is in the house.
Hammer time.
Hello, Debbie Thinks, Tyler F. Let's see. Who else is in the chat here? Jim Beebs in the house. Nice to see you. Nobody, not me. Good morning. Good. Hello, Zero the Hero. Black Hebrew Israelite.
That's right.
Also, good morning to Paul Farrell. What's happening? Johnny Hellcat, the original viewer of the Morning Night Live, the first ever show. Johnny Hellcat was my first viewer, along with the Hate Camel. Also, good morning, Aaron Meredith, ex-Bubba Hotep, Uncle Bad Touch.
Come on, man.
We know who you are. Good morning, Amy in Connecticut, Robert Chalk, and looks like that's the end of the line. If you're working, lurking, watching while you're driving and or thriving, please be careful. Don't watch and drive. You can just listen. I almost as entertaining by just listening to me, but I am a good looking guy. So I know it's hard not to look. It's just like, oh, what a beautiful chocolate man. Anyway, also, and if you're working like with heavy machinery, just pay attention to that. You know, make sure your hands are someplace where they don't get caught in a pinch point or something like that. Okay. Lots of video coming out of airport at Kabul, not looking good at all. Complete mayhem. Oh yeah, it's disgusting. It's sad. Renee Mayat, hello, by the way. Millie doesn't deserve to have a position he has, obvious from his foolish BS statement. Hell, he doesn't deserve to wear the uniform. He's look, these guys, holy hell. So let's just go ahead and get started, because do I need anything from this place here? Oh my gosh. Oh, no. Bank of America tells employees U.S. is white supremacist and to get woke at work. Oh no. Now this wasn't even in my plan today. It just happened to be I'll put that at the end. New leaked documents reveal that the Bank of America executives are making employees go through lessons that tell them that the USA is a racist country and they must prioritize racial privilege in their worldview. Fuck off. Oh, Rufo's finding a lot of stuff here. I'll do that later. All right, let's talk about the president though, because if you didn't catch this yesterday, I'm going to go ahead and pull this article up that the U.S. embassy in Afghanistan yesterday. We know that they sent out that email. We read it. but I want to this is the highlight from the Right Side Broadcasting Network. They say that the U.S. Embassy in Afghanistan can no longer ensure safe passage for American citizens to get to the Kabul airport. In an immediate reversal from the Department of Defense and State Department's reassurance on Tuesday that they would have the Taliban's cooperation in allowing Americans to safely get to the Kabul airport with limited hostile interactions, the U.S. Embassy in Afghanistan declared on Wednesday, let's see if I can, I'll hit that link, declared on Wednesday that the U.S. government can no longer guarantee safe passage to the airport for American citizens stranded in Afghanistan. Quote, the security situation in Kabul continues to change quickly, including at the airport. The U.S. Embassy in Kabul stated the U.S. citizens seeking assistance to depart the country should complete this repatriation assistance request. You know, yeah, let's fill out a form and just show up with your fucking passport and whatever luggage you can carry. And get here however you can. That's what it should say. But no, complete this repatriation assistance request. Yeah. Oh, are they going to do that on the internet? Is the internet going to be working to do this? Is it an online form? Is it a written form? Holy shit. For each traveler in their group, spouses and minor children of U.S. citizens and Afghanistan who are awaiting immigrant visas should also complete this form if they wish to depart. What if they wish to stay? Holy shit. And please do this as soon as possible. Please do so only once. So don't fill it out more than once because, anyway, the security alert indicated U.S. citizens, LPRs, spouses, and their children would be prioritized for flights back to the United States, but clarified that registration and space on flights are available only on a first-come, first-served basis. Americans may be required to wait at the airport for a significant amount of time until space is available. The situation in Afghanistan continues to escalate on a daily basis with limited, constantly evolving information. As of Tuesday, only 1,100 U.S. citizens, permanent residents, and their families were safely evacuated from Afghanistan, while an estimated 10,000 to 15,000 still remain. National security. Okay, and then so anyway, we kind of saw this from that we read this yesterday. The announcement itself. Let's see, is this the same one? Yeah. So there's a copy of the security alert here and the eligibility requirements. But yeah, complete this. Let's see. Let's look at this repatriation assistance form. Let's do that. Oh, it is. It's an online form. Fill out this online form so you can get home. Good Lord. This is just sad. U.S. citizen. Okay, this is so you get your biographical information. U.S. citizenship or LPR, which is lawful permanent residency. Family surname, first given name, gender. Oh, they give you three choices: male, female, or prefer not to say. Well, at least they could, because it might take you a while to go through the full list. So at least they only give you those. Date of birth, place of birth, U.S. passport number, U.S. passport or I-551 green card date of issue, U.S. passport date of expiration, country of citizenship, social security, telephone numbers, email address. So there's a next. I'm not going through this whole thing, but if you want to, fill it out for the hell of it, or don't. I don't know. I might be able to get in trouble with that. So anyway, some of the politicians are not happy with this. The State Department just alerted American citizens, and this is Kevin McCarthy, the GOP leader, minority leader in the House. State Department has just alerted American citizens in Afghanistan that their own government can't guarantee their safe transport at the Kabul airport. That's absolutely unconscionable. President Biden, FTG. Oh, you know what? Should we just have a permanent FTG Biden today? Actually, for me, it's President Sundowner. FTG President Sundowner. President Biden must immediately provide a plan to protect Americans and get them back home. Ain't happening. We already heard yesterday, too, that the British and the French soldiers or whatever are going out and escorting people back, but the Americans are not. Apparently that's some agreement they have with the Taliban or something. I don't know. This is well, I already said it the other day. It's a cluster, rhymes with the end of fire truck, because my favorite word starts with an F and ends with UCK. That'd be fire truck. Nikki Haley says to have her generals say that they're depending on diplomacy with the Taliban is an unbelievable scenario. Negotiating with the Taliban is like dealing with the devil. Well, now hang on. Our previous president's administration did negotiate with the Taliban, and part of the reason we're in this mess is because after all the hard-fought work to get an agreement just to be able to clear out of there, probably with no problems, we broke the agreement. The United States of America broke the agreement when Joe Biden changed the date without asking, without just unilaterally, without asking anybody, without negotiating anymore, just completely changed the date. And like I said, the Taliban said, hey, we'll do it our way. Since you're not going to, new administration shouldn't matter. It's still the United States of America. All right. Let's see. So there's this if you want to read the security alert, it'll be in the tab, the links down below. Everything we do on this show is linked in a single tab in the second paragraph of the description down below. Now, yesterday, the president of the United States had a little press conference, right? And I thought, he came out, not even a press conference, just a statement. He delivered remarks, okay? And I thought, after the statement he made a couple days ago, I thought for sure that perhaps he would come out and maybe clarify some things from his statement on Tuesday, and then maybe take some questions, right? And I thought it would be about Afghanistan, but no, he decided to come out and deliver a speech about the stupid 19 response and the vaccination program. And I don't think a single reporter wanted to hear anything about this. And so we learned that President Sundowner is going to, he and the First Lady are going to get their booster shots when they're eligible. Thank goodness they're doing that. That's really the most important news I wanted to hear yesterday when we have U.S. citizens stuck in Kabul. Why is there a mail chip? Okay, get off my screen. So anyway, President Biden and First Lady Jill Biden plan to get COVID-19 vaccine booster shots once they are cleared to take them. Wait a minute. Once they're cleared to take them. So this isn't even something that's happening. Good God, who cares? But here's this speech from yesterday, and we'll watch some of it, okay? Because I want to react to some of this. What? No, I don't. I don't care. I do not care. But here's something that happened in the Washington Post. Vaccines show declining effectiveness against infection overall, but strong protection against hospitalization amid the Delta variant. 3 studies published Wednesday by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. That's funny that they have the word prevention still, or even control, because they're not doing nothing they're doing is working. Anyway, show that protection against these 19 given by the Fauci juice declined in the midsummer months when the more contagious Della Reese rose to dominance in the U.S. If you have no idea what I'm saying, I'm sorry. I'm using code language. The Della Reese would be the Del Taco. Hey, that's what I should call it, the Del Taco variant, because I'm kind of hungry right now. By the way, just a quick survey of people watching the show. Do you have Del Taco where you live? I'm just curious. We do not. We have Taco Bell, Taco John's, and all kinds of other stuff. We don't have Del Taco. And when I go out to California or Las Vegas or whatever, I love me some Del Taco. It's some damn good stuff. Anyway, so by the way, we have our first sponsor today. Oh, I knew there's something weird here. Hang on a second. Let me fix this. What the hell am I doing? I just realized that I don't have this. Okay, that's fixed. I don't have this even pulled up. Thank you, Black Hebrew Israelite, the first sponsor of the Morning Night Live this morning. As soon as this thing pops up, I'm having trouble here. With the first bullet of the day, aka a 556, as opposed to AK. What is going on with this damn thing? Good Lord. Good Lord. Good Lord. Good Lord. Lordy, lordy, lordy. Thank you, Black Hebrew Israelite, who says, hey, Millie, how's... I just read the first line. I'm already cracking up, Black Hebrew Israelite. Black Hebrew Israelite says, hey, Millie, how's that white rage training you've been doing? Maybe you should have your officers read War and Peace or The Art of War to learn how to fight and win battles instead of training SJWs.
That's right.
Now you know SJW. Now you know SJWs can't fight for shit.
That's right.
Thank you, Black Hebrew Israelite. I am entertained. Yes, I am. Also, good morning. Good morning, not provided. Nobody, not me. A couple other people showed up here. I'll figure it out. Jaeger Pony, my favorite Canadian's in the house. Nice to see you. Jim Beam, I think I said hi already. I'm getting caught up. All right, so thank you, Black Hebrew Israelite. I appreciate you very much for sponsoring the show. If you would like to sponsor the show, you can go to PDawgKnight.live. It's down, where is it? It's over there. Am I pointing the right direction? I kind of am. Or the thing will pop up in the chat, or you can do YouTube SuperChats, or there's a couple other ways down in the description down below. Streamlabs is one of them, and Venmo and Cashapp are all 24 hours. If you want to sponsor the show, you can do it in the way you'd like, or you can just be one of those people who prolifically tweets out the link to the different various episodes. That'd be great too. All right. Anyway, so let's see. They amounts Wednesday, blah, 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 blah. Who cares? This is what I was doing. At the same time, protection against hospitalization was strong for weeks after the stab, indicating the shots will generate immune fighters that stave off the worst effects of the virus and its current variations. Data from these studies persuaded the Biden administration to develop a plan for additional doses. Hey, I know that the Pfizer and Johnson & Johnson and whatever those other places are all jumping for joy on that, because that they get paid. Their stock's going to go up. Their profits are going to go up. Jab and stab away. Pfizer, BioNTech, Moderna. Oh, I see. The Biden administration will begin offering coronavirus booster shots to fully vaccinated adults who received the Pfizer BioNTech. Okay, who gives a shit? All right, let's move on because I am just, I don't know where I'm going here. Let's go to this interview that Biden had with George Stephanopoulos, because one thing I think that you can count on with this president is that he is going to go out. First of all, he's not doing long interviews, right? And he doesn't like to take questions from the press because he might get in trouble. I'm going to get in trouble for this. They're going to get, they're going to be mad at me for this. Or because unless of course he asks the right reporters to ask their questions, because they get them in advance and they have the little list that they give him. And like you said, here's the list they give you. Well, he decided to go and chat with George Stephanopoulos. And this is kind of a thing that Democrat administrations do. They're not going to look. He's not going to go on and have. He's not going to go on Laura Ingram's show, which not that he has to. He's not going to go out there and I don't even think he's going to go on and have an interview with Jake Tapper, because Jake Tapper will ask him hard questions, and normally, especially George Stephanopoulos, who used to be a press secretary for the Clinton administration and now is a journalist, so to speak. You'd think that he's going to go on this, get this interview and get some bail, right? George Stephanopoulos going to ask him some soft ass questions, and then it's going to be all good and fine, right? And And also very few follow-up questions. So I want to watch this. Now, this is only 3 minutes, 48 seconds of the interview. Now, I guarantee you that this actual interview that the one-on-one with Joe Biden, I'm sure it lasted more than 3 minutes and 48 seconds. And I don't know if they showed this is the World News Tonight version. Supposedly this morning they were going to show the full version of this interview on Good Morning America. But I can't find it yet. And it makes me wonder if they showed it or if the White House said, oh, no. You're not showing that because he already looks dumb here. But anyway, let's watch this clip from the interview. And like I said earlier, there's a part of this clip that a lot of people have already seen, right? There are, that was 4 or 5 days ago part. I'm not 100% sure that that's not bait for Republicans and people on the right, that is just an editing issue. And then of course the Republicans are going to pounce because they're already talking about that this morning. And then they're going to say, oh no, the full interview, that wasn't exactly the sequence. And here, yeah, we got you. Well, that's why but let's watch this anyway. So here it is. Here's, this is the George Stephanopoulos, the part that they released yesterday from from ABC News. What is it? World News Tonight? Yes, World News Tonight. So here we go.
As many as 15,000 Americans and at least 65,000.
Oh, by the way, I think Joe thought this was going to be, like one of those interviews that the way it's supposed to go. And there's a point where you can tell, you can kind of tell he's not as, let's just watch it. You'll see what I'm talking about.
1,000 Afghans and their families are still desperate to get out. We will go live to Kabul, but we begin here with George Stephanopoulos, one-on-one with the president.
Back in July, you said a Taliban takeover was highly unlikely. Was the intelligence wrong, or did you downplay it?
Now, that's a pretty good question. That's a pretty good question from George. But I got a feeling, that Biden already got this question in advance. Okay, so here's his answer.
I think there was no consensus. If you go back and look at the intelligence reports, they said that it was more likely to be sometime by the end of the year.
You didn't put a timeline.
Okay. Did you catch that? Tell me if you can tell what's wrong with that answer. I'm gonna play it again. Okay, watch this. How this goes. George's question.
President.
Back in July, you said a Taliban takeover was highly unlikely. Was the intelligence wrong, or did you downplay it?
I think there was no consensus. If you go back and look at the intelligence reports, they said that it was more likely to be sometime by the end of the year.
You didn't put.
Can anyone tell me what's wrong with that? Can you tell what's wrong with that? That wasn't the end of his answer. They cut it. And I've got a feeling that, first of all, there's two things wrong. The answer itself, but I'm talking about they cut it. They edited out the rest of his answer. He did not finish that succinctly. Okay, watch it again.
The intelligence wrong, or did you downplay it?
I think there was no consensus. If you go back and look at the intelligence reports, they said that it was more likely to be sometime by the end of the year.
You didn't.
And he was about to go on and on. That was not the end of his answer. I want to know what they edited out. But yeah, and also the answer itself.
There was no consensus. If you go back and look at the intelligence reports, they said that it was more likely to be sometime by the end of the year.
So wait, it was more likely to be the end of the year. Wait, you mean this year? I thought the Afghan forces were going to be going to protect the people in the rest of the country. So in other words, he just said that they knew the country was going to get run over. They just didn't think it would be that fast. Holy shit. Anyway, let's see here.
You didn't put a timeline out when you said it was highly unlikely. You just said flat out it's highly unlikely the Taliban would take over.
Yeah.
Ding.
Well, the question was whether or not
Oh my gosh, that is. I mean, am I the only one who laughed at how he went? Yeah. I mean. Wait, listen to this question.
end of the year.
You didn't put a timeline out when you said it was highly unlikely. You just said flat out it's highly unlikely the Taliban would take over.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I said that. And I was fucking wrong. And then he goes on.
Well, the question was whether or not the idea that the Taliban would take over was premised on the notion that somehow the 300,000 troops we had trained and equipped was going to just collapse. They were going to give up. I don't think anybody anticipated that.
We've all
Well, no, yeah. Oh, but I thought you were ready for all contingencies. Huh. Now, this is the part that everyone's talking about, okay? This is the part everyone's talking about. This is the part that it doesn't surprise me, I'm a little bit skeptical of this edit.
Anticipated that.
We've all seen the pictures. We've seen those hundreds of people packed into a C-17. We've seen Afghans falling.
That was 4 days ago, 5 days ago.
What did you think?
Is that an edit? And also, that C-17 picture was from Monday, and this interview was on Wednesday. So I'm a little. But that also, listen to that. The title of my stream today is Joe Biden desperately wants to change the subject. Joe Biden desperately wants to change the subject, and that poo-pooing, if that's an actual non-edited answer and he continues here, that's Joe saying, why are we still talking about, like, it's ancient history, we're worried about the people who had the insurrection on January 6th. That was 9 months ago, or whatever, 8 months. That was 8 months ago. That'd be like if he said that, if someone asked him about January 6th. That was 8 months ago. Yeah, the start of the Afghanistan war, that was 20 years ago. Oh, Tifa tried to break into the federal courthouse in Portland. That was a year ago. Well, you'd still have questions about it. This was 2 days ago, Joe. 2 days ago.
When you first saw those pictures?
What I thought was we have to gain control.
We've all seen the pictures. We've seen those hundreds of people packed into a C-17. We've seen Afghans falling.
That was 4 days ago, 5 days ago.
What did you think when you first saw those pictures?
Now, see, I'm still skeptical. Why? I don't know why. It doesn't make sense that George doesn't react to that was 4 days ago. That was 5 days ago. Yeah, really.
Come on, man.
Why did George not react to that? Rather than continuing to ask the question, I'd be like, what the hell are you talking about 4 or 5 days ago? It was 2 days ago. That picture's from 2 days ago. The guy falling out of the fucking sky from trying to hang on to an airplane and trying to ride it like a unicorn was 2 days ago. The horrific scenes outside the airport, it's still going on. You still have people who are not in the airport. You had an embassy yesterday that gave out this directive that we may not be able to protect you on your way to the airport, but if you get here, make sure you have your form filled out first.
What I thought was we have to gain control of this. We have to move this more quickly. We have to move in a way in which we can take control of that airport.
I'm glad he's taking questions now. but he has no idea what's going on, does he? Are they in the Situation Room? Are they? Is he being briefed closely on this? We have control of the airport, Joe. I even know this just from news reports. That's not the problem. The problem is we still have U.S. citizens who cannot get to that airport. And there's no guarantee that there's any kind of escort or any kind of safe passage for those people. We have up to, they said up to 80,000 Afghanis who have been working for the United States, for some of them for the entire 20 years, that we would like to get out of there because they're probably going to be in danger after September 11th, because the Taliban has already given you an ultimatum. Get everyone you want out by September 11th, because all hell's going to break loose then. If there's any Americans in Afghanistan, because here's the thing. I keep saying that. I said that so many times over the last couple of days. On September 11th, now that the Taliban has given their ultimatum, they're not going to be wishy-washy about how they treat people left behind. Because, they're already killing people in the streets. You know that, right? They don't care. They don't care about international, the international recognition. They don't care about what the UN thinks. They don't care. They're not part of the UN. They don't give a fuck. They just took over a country, and it's their country, and they can do whatever the hell they want. They don't care about humanitarian missions. They don't care about women and children and how they're going to be treated. They don't care about how inclusive they are to the LGBTQIP AA plus 2A 94s. Okay? They don't care. Guess what? They don't care about whether or not math is racist. Okay? They took over the country, and they're going to start killing people on September 11th that aren't supposed to be there or who collaborated with the Americans. By the way, good morning, Gitmo Holiday. Hello, Jenna P. Amy in Connecticut. Lord Stanhope, nice to have you all here. John Connor, nice to see you. Welcome to the show. So, they don't care. Okay. By the way, thank you, Renee Mayette, with the sponsoring the show through YouTube Super Chat. Says, I dropped the full transcript in the news tab on Discord if you want to compare the film to the words. Oh, that should be interesting. I might have to pull that up. I do definitely have some Discord stuff in here today. Thank you, Renee. I appreciate it. All right, here we go. Let me continue here.
And we did.
So you don't think this?
Wait, and we did what?
Which we can take control of that airport. And we did.
So
okay, they never lost control of the airport. I don't know why he's, we did something. Yeah, sort of. What's George's next question?
Have to move in a way in which we can take control of that airport. And we did.
So you don't think this could have been handled, this actually could have been handled better in any way? No mistakes?
No, I don't think it could have been handled in a way that we're going to go back in hindsight and look, but the idea that somehow there's a way to have gotten out without chaos ensuing, I don't know how that happens.
That we could have gotten out without chaos ensuing. You don't think that could have happened? Maybe this is a pipe dream of mine, but I have the feeling that if the guy with the funny hair were the president right now, like I would have preferred, and we had that May 1st deadline that the Taliban agreed to, and they went with the plan that was in place, that was, certainly it would have been prioritized after the election, and they would have gotten started with, that kind of stuff. And even if they only started in January, putting together a plan, because the United States of America had an agreement, And had they just stuck with that date and made a plan to get the people out, do you think there would be as much chaos? Or would the Taliban had waited, laid back, and maybe even stayed back for a few years until the guy with the funny hair was out of office because, wouldn't want to get your ass Soleimani'd. That's a new verb now. I think it could have been a little more orderly and less chaos. But you changed the date, and they changed their minds. Just saying, Joe. By the way, we can just continually FTG for Joe. Oops, a sundowner. Anyway. All right, let's keep going.
I don't know how that happened.
So for you, that was always priced into the decision?
Yes.
Whoa! Wait a minute. What?
I don't know how that happened.
So for you, that was always priced into the decision?
Yes.
The chaos was always into part of it. Really? Wow.
Wow.
All right, let's see what. Okay, now I can't remember. Oh, nice pause job there.
All right, so let's bring in George Stephanopoulos. George, I was watching as that interview came in. A lot to unpack here. I know you're going to have a lot more on Good Morning America, but I wanted to double down here.
They still haven't put the Good Morning America clip on. I don't know if they did a full interview or if they did an unedited interview.
Two things you pressed the president on. The president claims that military leaders did not.
Okay, I don't care what George Stephanopoulos has to say. I really don't. We can, if they put the entire interview on ABC, I'll check that out later. And then ABC today has an Afghans. Okay, this is how ABC wants to look at this, I guess. They have an article here. An Afghan family's harrowing account of getting to Kabul's airport. Tens of thousands of Afghans remain behind in anguish and fear. Didn't we just read that approximately 10,000 Americans are also in that boat? Or not in that boat for the kind that flies. But we have this article on an Afghan family's harrowing account of getting to Kabul airport. It was on the third attempt that Khan and his pregnant wife and their 3-year-old son made to get to Kabul's international airport, the most harrowing yet, when they were finally successful. Khan, whose real name ABC News is not using for his security, made it on a U.S. military flight out of Afghanistan Wednesday, according to his U.S. lawyer, fleeing the Taliban takeover and the threats its fighters had made against him for years because of his service to the U.S. Tens of thousands of Afghans remain behind in anguish and fear. The Biden administration has promised to evacuate as many Afghans as we possibly can for as long as we can, in the words of the State Department spokesman Ned Price, but the task remains immense and chaotic, not least because Taliban fighters continue to block access to the airport. It's unclear how many Afghans in the administration is committed to evacuating, where they will be brought to safety, and who qualifies for a coveted seat on military and chartered flights. Khan, a computer scientist by training who worked for a U.S. defense contractor alongside his brother Mohammed, had spent years waiting for a special immigrant visa. After waiting 10 years for a visa, Mohammed's family finally learned last December that he was granted approval. Less than a month later, he was gunned down on his way to work, his 10-year-old son by his side in the car. Khan was supposed to travel with them, but had to run errands that morning in January. He has spent recent months in hiding, receiving death threats by phone and text message, and waiting for his family's special immigrant visas to be finalized. On Saturday, hours before the U.S. Embassy in Kabul closed its doors, he and his family were able to pick up their visas. But that is only half the battle. For U.S. citizens and Afghans with visas, reaching the airport and getting inside has been nearly an impossible task. The State Department has informed all American citizens, some Afghan visa holders to travel to the airport, warning in capital letters that they cannot guarantee your security as you make this trip, according to the embassy email notice obtained by ABC News. Khan and his family made the first attempt on Sunday and tried to get again Tuesday, but there were too many Taliban fighters pushing back crowds to even get close. On Wednesday, they tried a different approach, nearing a gate in the north side, but there they encountered U.S. troops trying to disperse crowds by shooting into the air. U.S. troops were shooting into the air? Fascinating. Nearing the gate in the north, they encountered U.S. troops trying to disperse crowds by shooting into the air and using tear gas, according to Khan's U.S. lawyer, Julie Cornfield, from the International Refugee Assistance Project, or IRAP, who was FaceTiming with him during the episode. Pentagon spokesman John Kirby confirmed Wednesday that American troops providing security at the perimeter fired their weapons in the air as a part of crowd control measures. Now, remember we were the other day, or yesterday, we were watching the CNN reporter, and she was talking about how the Taliban fighters shooting in the air, and I was singing, "What goes up must come down." Yeah, the U.S. troops are doing that. Okay, great. The timing could not be more urgent now that the Afghan government has collapsed and the Taliban has taken over. Time is quickly running out. We need to get as many people on flights out of the country before it's too late. And the U.S. has a legal and moral obligation to do so, said Becca Heller, IRAB's executive director. So, I don't know. If you want to read the rest of this harrow story, they're just talking about what's going on outside the airport. Anyway, thank you, Black Hebrew Israelite, with another deuce in the sponsor pot. Thank you. Who says, Joe Biden, there are 15,000 potential U.S. hostages that are trapped in Afghanistan. Maybe you should fly the BLM or the new LGBTQIA plus flags and they'll back down.
That's right.
Or have ATFA go liberate the country. Remember, Joe told Obama to let Osama live.
You're a lying dog face
Well,
pony
right.
shoulder.
I'm sorry, that's the wrong one. Let's try
That's
that
right.
one. Oh, I know. Yeah, think about. It's funny because they compare this to the fall of Saigon, right? And them airlifting people out of Saigon. If a lot of those Americans can't get out of Afghanistan, because they can't get to the airport. It's going to be a little bit like the fall of Iran in '79, right? Good point there, Black Hebrew Israelite. Anyway, you can read the rest of that story on your own. And then here's thank you, Gunfox, for putting this in the Discord. And it's the article or the interview we just watched. But Biden snaps when asked about Afghan falling from airplanes, insists he made no mistakes. So here's how you would, if you would read this from InfoWars. Joe Biden sat down with ABC News' George Stephanopoulos on Wednesday to explain his disastrous handling of the military pullout from Afghanistan. When you look at what happened over the last week, was it a failure of intelligence, planning, execution, or judgment? Stephanopoulos asked Biden. Biden insisted he made no mistakes in his execution of the botched U.S. military withdrawal, and that the Afghanistan's president and army were to blame for the Taliban's quick takeover. Is that what he said? That's interesting. That's interesting way to put it. I didn't think of him saying it that way.
When you look at what's happened over the last week, was it a failure of intelligence, planning, execution?
We're just going to hear this again.
Look, I don't think it was a fair. Look, it was a simple choice, George. When the Taliban, let me put it another way. When you had the government of Afghanistan, the leader of that government getting in a plane and taking off and going to another country, when you saw the significant collapse of the Afghan troops we had trained, up to 300,000 of them, just leaving their equipment and taking off, that was, that's what happened. That's simply what happened.
But we've all seen the pictures. We've seen those hundreds of people.
Okay, so yeah, I guess I kind of glossed over that, but he does say, the leader leaves, the troops lay their weapons down, everyone said, fuck it. But why do you think that happened, Joe? Did that happen as much as you didn't negotiate with the Afghan leaders when you made this agreement with Taliban? Do you think they may have known what was coming when you broke that agreement? Do you take any blame for that part of it? Because that's the first thing you did when he came to office. You said, nope, we're changing this date. And one of the first things. There's a lot of first things. Everything you tried to reverse from the prior guy, again, some of it was domestic, but the foreign policy stuff, he just said, no, we're not doing what we just said we were going to do. I'm really curious as to, I'm curious as to how Biden is going to work with that NATO thing where other members of NATO are going to start paying their share of their own defense more than they have been in the past, that our former president with the funny hair got them to do finally after way too long of everyone just riding, our coattails and our chest full of dollars. I thought that was a brilliant move, even though he ruffled some feathers when he did it. Is Joe going to back out on that too? Are we going to start footing the bill for everybody else again? Just because you don't want the orange man getting credit for anything? God, I'm just saying. The Afghan president knew that Biden would not have his back. That's one of the reasons he skipped out. Yes, they're...
Come on, man.
Yeah, Mike. Correct. That's exactly right. Very typical of Biden. It's someone else's fault. Yeah, it is. That is so typical. Anyway, but we all see that he said that was 4 or 5 days ago. Weird flex, but okay. When he said 4 or 5 days, that 4 or 5 days ago line too. I'm still wondering if that's a weird edit. Of course, the White House hasn't denied he said it, but it's just weird that. Oh, look at this cartoon's hilarious. Oh, well, hilarious if it weren't so sad. Oh my gosh. Anyway. All right, let's get caught about a few things. Now, this is all going to be a little bit, some of it's going to be random, some of it's going to seem like out of place, but I'm just going to do them in the order of having the tabs because I forgot to rearrange the tabs. From the Western Journal, a staggering number of Americans still trapped in Afghanistan, and that was just revealed. This is from this morning. Between 10 and 15,000 Americans remain trapped in Taliban-held Afghanistan as the U.S. withdrew from the country, President Joe Biden revealed Wednesday night. Last week, the Pentagon had estimated there were 5,000 to 10,000 Americans outside of Kabul who needed to be evacuated. Meanwhile, 50,000 to 65,000 Afghans and their families are also on the list of people the United States would like to get out of the country, Biden said in an interview with ABC News. Initially, the Biden administration estimated there were 30,000 people that wanted to get out, including Afghans who have been translators and otherwise assisted U.S. forces, and who could be marked for death under the Taliban. The president said Americans will be successfully pulled out of Afghanistan. And if your American force, okay, I hate it when they quote Biden verbatim, because trying to speak Biden speak is really difficult, even when you're reading it off the page. Hello, H.P. Lovecraft. Okay, I'm going to read it off the page here. And if your American force, if there's American citizens left, you're going to stay to get them all out. We're going to stay to get them all out. Are we now? Because, and by when, Joe? Because the Taliban now says your own deadline of September 11th is a hard deadline. I got a feeling that on September 12th, the Taliban is going to be cleaning up. And that's not a good thing, cleaning up. Just saying. Hello, Lee Bruce. You're right. No amount of editing can make him look smart. His projected confidence came in stark contrast to comments from his defense secretary, Lloyd Austin, that the U.S. was not even able to make the trip from Kabul airport to the city to rescue Americans, according to CNBC. I don't have the capability to go out and extend operations currently in Kabul, Austin said Wednesday. And where do you take that? How far can you extend into Kabul, and how long does it take to flow those forces in to be able to do that? Yeah, we'll get to him in a minute. Earlier, the State Department warned Americans it could not assure them safe passage, so we already know that. Also, we've seen reports that the Taliban, contrary to their public statements and their commitments to our government, are blocking Afghans who wish to leave the country from reaching the airport, Deputy Secretary of State Wendy Sherman said, according to CNBC. Further sources NBC News identifies as Senate staffer said the Biden administration has no plan to evacuate Americans outside of Kabul because of Taliban checkpoints. Through Tuesday, the report said 1,000 Americans had been evacuated, although the Daily Mail pegged that number at 2,000. And then they just go on to talk about Biden and his speaking to George Stephanopoulos. Not good, people. Not good. Let's see. Okay, we've already seen this. So I'll just leave it in the tabs. Now let's go into some of the stuff I pulled from a couple things I pulled from Discord. Thank you, Gunfox, again. This is interesting. So activists in Philly, the city of brotherly love, has called for the National Guard to come to Philadelphia amid shootings. See, there's a lot of problems in Philly. Well, there's a lot of problems in a lot of cities, but a day after 5 shootings claimed the lives of 2 men and injured 7 people, the founder of 2 anti-crime community organizations called on Philadelphia officials to request that the National Guard be dispatched to the city. When they needed to protect buildings, they brought in the National Guard. So now it's not okay to bring the National Guard to protect people. Stanley Crawford, co-founder of the Families Unsolved Murder Victims Project and the Black Male Community Council, said Tuesday, bring them in and use them strategically. They have the data and the statistics to know where the violence is occurring. Put the National Guard there, said Crawford, 69, whose son William was murdered in 2018. It doesn't have to be for a long period of time, just until you stabilize the murders and shootings. Well, I don't know if that'll work or not. Hello, Midnight in Exile. Nice to see you. Jabal Johnson, who went on a 26-day hunger strike earlier this year to protest gun violence and started a march to Washington on August 9th to meet with members of the Congressional Black Caucus and to lobby the George Floyd Justice in Policing Act of 2021, said he called for the Guard to be brought in last year. What a weird, is it just me, or is that kind of, what's the word, not oxymoron, it's just a weird dichotomy that he's lobbying for the George Floyd Justice for Policing Act, but he wants the National Guard to come in town. This is weird. And a 20-day, 6-day hunger strike to protest gun violence? What the hell's that going to do? Okay? I mean, you've got people who have beef with each other and they're shooting. Protesting gun violence, you need to protest people violence. The guns don't shoot themselves. Good God. He said, I'm glad he said it. Even if people don't want to hear it, Johnson said of Crawford's request for the National Guard, it's an action. Something is being done as opposed to a bunch of talk. And we do need action. And when there's some cognitive dissonance here, though. The George Floyd Justice and Policing Act, how does that stop people from shooting each other? It doesn't. Not an oxymoron, just a moron. Thank you, Lord Stanhope. A spokesman for Mayor Jim Kenney said there are no plans to request help from the National Guard, but he remains open to community input and other ways to reduce violence. You either get more police out there or you get the National Guard out there. But I don't see the National Guard, that's not their job. They're not police officers. They're just they're just citizens who wear the uniform on weekends and do a lot of great work, but that's a little more like even though it's the National Guards or units are from states, you don't want the U.S. military in. Anyone following me here? I'm not even sure what I'm trying to say. You don't want the military policing your streets. You want police policing your streets. But they don't want the police because they want to defund the police from policing your streets. And now, granted, the George Floyd Act, whatever, I know a lot of it's for police accountability, body cams, like that. But then you'd have to put more funds into the police. You need to fund more training for the police. And they don't want to fund the police anymore. They want to fund the police less and have social workers and all that shit. I don't know. As of Tuesday morning, 339 people have been murdered in the city this year, a 25% increase from the 271 people killed the same time last year, according to the police department. Now, I don't know if that last year, the number of them were down. So it's an increase from last year, but how is it compared over a running 10-year average? I'm curious. The extent of the city's violent surge and the brazenness of government behind it was on shocking display at 7:13 p.m. Monday in the parking lot of the ShopRite supermarket at the 100 block of Olney Avenue. An 18-year-old man, later identified as Kyrie Isaac, and a 19-year-old woman were ambushed by 3 gunmen who wore black masks over their faces as they pumped bullets into the 2021 BMW X1 SUV as the victim sat inside. Isaac was hit with 10 to 12 bullets while his passenger was shot in the left cheek, left arm, and chest. Police said both were rushed to Albert Einstein Medical Center, where Isaac was pronounced dead at 7:35 p.m. and his passenger was listed in critical condition. How, maybe National Guard troops would be out there stopping that, but also would they just be targets of gunmen? I'm just, oh boy. Our world. Also from the AP, data of 40 million plus exposed in T-Mobile's latest breach. So if you're a T-Mobile customer, I don't know how much concern you should have, but let's find out. The names, social security numbers, and information from driver's licenses or other identification of just over 40 million people who applied for T-Mobile credit were exposed in a recent data breach, the company said Wednesday. So even if you, not only if you're a T-Mobile customer, but if you just applied for credit with T-Mobile and were denied, your data was breached, huh? The same data for about 7.8 million current T-Mobile customers who pay monthly for phone service also appears to be compromised. No phone numbers, account numbers, PINs, passwords, or financial information from nearly 50 million people. It says no. Oh, so none of that was compromised, they said. So wait a minute. So, social security numbers, information from driver's license, and other identification. Oh, of people who applied for T-Mobile credit, but apparently not phone numbers and account numbers, PINs, passwords, and financial information from the nearly 50 million records were compromised. Okay, so but still, data thieves, they need your social security number and information from a driver's license. That usually suffices, doesn't it? I don't know. T-Mobile has been hit before by data theft, but in the most recent case, the sheer numbers far exceed the previous breaches, said Gartner analyst Paul Furtado. T-Mobile, which is based in Bellevue, Washington, became one of the country's largest cell phone service carriers, along with AT&T and Verizon, after buying rival Sprint last year. It reported having a total of 102 million U.S. customers after the merger. Thomas Cleaver, kapow. I see you there. James PFP, what's happening? Anyway, so if you're a T-Mobile customer, you might want to read the rest of that article. It sounds like, I don't know how you get the information from their social security and driver's license and other identification, but not their phone number, account numbers, PINs, passwords, and other financial information. I don't know how you get one and not the other. It's a data breach, and maybe I just don't know how data breach works. Okay, let's move on. Oh, this is interesting, and I at first I was like, I don't care, but then I thought about it for a second and thought what this would do, what could happen to people if it was used in a nefarious way. So artificial intelligence gave Val Kilmer his voice back. But, oh, by the way, I'm sorry. Let's just, I'm going to do an FTG to T-Mobile. Fix your shit. Artificial intelligence gave Val Kilmer his voice back, but critics worry the technology could be misused. Oh, you think? My voice as I knew it was taken away from me. People around me struggle to understand me when I'm talking, said a voice immediately recognizable as the actor Val Kilmer in a video shared on YouTube last week. The Hollywood actor lost his natural voice after a surgery for throat cancer in 2015, shattering his career and permanently altering the way he communicates. That is until late last year, when Sonatic, a UK-based software firm that clones voices for actors and studios, helped Kilmer to speak again. Even the most widespread artificial voice based on real people like Apple's Siri and Amazon's Alexa sound fake, but a wave of startups are deploying artificially intelligent voice cloning services for digital assistants, video games, and movie studios. The generated voices have gotten more realistic in the age of deep fakes, a technology that uses AI to manipulate content to look and sound deceptively real. The media is so good, it's sometimes tough to tell the difference between human voices and their synthetic counterparts. Nervous? By the way, thank you, Thomas Cleaver, for sponsoring the show. And with a bullet. Oh, by the way, I forgot. Black Hebrew Israelite, I'm sorry that I neglected you. I believe you were already the SSDOTD, but I'm going to do it again.
You are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day.
That's right.
But now, Thomas Cleaver with a bullet, who says, hang on a second. Kapow! Thank you, Thomas Cleaver. I'm so weird. Anyway, even the most widespread artificial voices based on real people. Okay, I said that. The generated voices have gotten more realistic in the age of deepfake. I already said that too. 5 years after Kilmer's surgery, his representatives contacted Sonantic to digitally restore his lost voice. So that's what we did, said Zena Qureshi, CEO and founder of Sonantic. Val's team wanted to give him his voice back so that he could continue creating. The project started in December 2020 after Kilmer finished taping Val a documentary about his Hollywood career and battled cancer. Sonatic's AI technology was not featured in the movie. However, the firm released a clip on YouTube that has more than 18,000 views. Kilmer's project comes a month after documentary filmmaker Morgan Neville revealed he used an unidentified voice cloning software to imitate the late chef Anthony Bourdain in the commercial film Roadrunner. Neville drew criticism from Otavia Bourdain, the late actor's widow, who disputed being approached about recreating the husband's voice through AI. So there you go. Someone's getting in trouble already for using a technology without permission of the estate. Maybe. I don't know. Sonatic would not reveal other actors they are working with. The 3-year-old company works primarily with gaming brands such as Xbox Game Studio, Obsidian Entertainment, and Remedy Games, and often licenses its synthetic voice service to studios, allowing them to edit and direct artificial voices, similarly how directors can influence human actors. So you got to figure this technology is probably, I think it's going to create some problems. For example, let's say you're making a new game, some kind of Halo-esque game or something like that, and you make a character in that game that kind of looks like Samuel L. Jackson, but isn't that not really? But then you use a synthetic version of Samuel L. Jackson's voice. Do you think there's going to be some interesting legal issues coming if they do that, and then Samuel L. Jackson, wait a minute, you're using sort of my likeness, and it sounds like my voice. You're using that without my permission. And they can say, well, no, we're using technology that just, it's not your voice. So why would we pay you for it? Jeez, I can, and then also, you know, imagine if they had this technology during the Mueller investigation, and they decided that they were going to make some tape recording of some hookers peeing out of bed with Trump going, "Yeah, baby, oh yeah, just piss all over that bed." And I don't know if he would say it that way, but anyway, it could cause some problems. You think? You think this might cause some problems? I don't know. It just sounds like it could cause some problems, if you ask me. All right, let's move on. I'm gonna get back. Let's get back to Joe in Afghanistan. I have a couple more articles, and then we're gonna call it a day because these interviews with the good General Milley. Well, actually, let's talk about this. Well, there's a press conference too. I think I have the press conference with Milley queued up too. Oh no, I don't. I thought I had it. Well, I do have the White House. Oh, Biden's remark on COVID yesterday. Again, smoke screen. But here's something that's interesting when you see the White House YouTube site when they do. They don't allow comments for any of Biden's stuff, and they don't allow. Well, they do keep the thumbs up, thumbs down. Here's the ratio: 195 thumbs up, 1,700 thumbs down. Not too many people impressed with Biden there. I just thought I'd show you that, but that's really not what I was trying to get to here. Here's PJ Media's take on the good generals yesterday. And this is annoying to me. The general who recommended abandoning Bagram Air Base has already left Afghanistan. There's a picture of Milley looking sour. During Wednesday's briefing by Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin and General Mark Milley, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, CBS national security reporter Jennifer Griffin asked the two about the decision to abandon Bagram Air Force Base in the weeks leading up to Afghanistan's collapse. That decision has proven to be crucial as it left Afghanistan with no U.S. military support and now leaves the civilians stranded there with one option: to try to get to the Kabul International Airport through Taliban checkpoints. The U.S. government issued a statement saying that it cannot guarantee their safety and that even if they get to the airport, they will face a long wait. The wait that could have been made shorter and the evacuation safer with better planning and the use of Bagram Air Base, which has 2 runways. Hazard Karzai International Airport only has 1. I think that's it, right? General Milley took up answering questions of why Bagram was abandoned after Austin acknowledged that some U.S. military aircraft had been piloted out of Bagram by the Taliban. What? Some U.S. military aircraft have been piloted out of Bagram by the Taliban. So the Taliban has some pilots and some new toys to pilot around to where they want to go. Oh, good God. Good morning, Sarah. Milley carefully said the plan was driven by Washington, designed on the ground in Afghanistan, and then briefed all the way up the chain. Here's the entire brief. Okay, so this is if you want to watch that briefing, here it is. But here's the point where Milley says this.
That Kabul would fall. But you do mention there were some reports suggesting it could fall apart in weeks. If so, why did you abandon the Bagram airfield? Why did U.S. military pull out given the uncertainty?
Yeah, go ahead. In terms of the aircraft that have been flown out that you mentioned earlier, I have received reports of a number of aircraft that were flown into Uzbekistan and Tajikistan. Exactly how many, I don't have firm numbers on. In terms of what we're doing about them currently, right now, Jen, we're focused on the airfield and getting people out safely, and so we're going to take that issue up at a later date, and we're going to continue to try to gain greater fidelity on the issue as well.
We're going to take that issue up at a later date. Is it time running out, Mr. Benson, Secretary Benson? I'm just curious. Let's continue this.
And on your question of Bagram, securing Bagram, you know how big Bagram is. You've been there many times. Securing Bagram is a significant level of military effort and forces.
And you knew y'all were leaving Afghanistan. You knew there's a lot of people in Afghanistan that you needed to get out. And you closed the airport with 2 runways because you left with and back to the international airport, Karzai International Airport, with 1 runway. What kind of an answer is that?
And it would also require external support from the Afghan security forces. Our task, given to us at that time, our task was to protect the embassy in order for the embassy personnel to continue to function with their consular services and all that. If we were,
how do you get the embassy personnel out of Afghanistan? Oh, wait a minute. Okay, hang on a minute. Now I'm thinking maybe they thought. Okay, never mind. I can answer that question myself, because they thought that the Afghan government would hold, and the 300,000 troops of the Afghan would keep their embassy safe. So maybe they didn't think they had to get anyone out of there. That could be it.
To keep both Bagram and the embassy going, that would be a significant number of military forces that would have exceeded what we had, or stayed the same, or exceeded what we had.
So they cut down forces. So they drew down some of the forces, and that's why. But it's interesting because it wasn't the former president with the funny hair who shut down Bagram. It was under this president, in a year when you said you're going to have everyone out of there by a certain date. So why would you shut that down? You know you're going to be mobilizing at least 50 to 100,000 people with 1 runway. I don't know. Maybe they didn't think they were going to. I don't know.
You had to collapse one or the other, and a decision was made. The proposal was made from CENTCOM commander and the commander on the ground, Scotty Miller, to go ahead and collapse Bagram. That was all briefed and approved, and we estimated that the risk of going out of Kaya, the risk of going out of Bagram, about the same. So going out of Kaya was
similar risk,
the better tactical solution, in accordance with the mission set that we're given, and in accordance.
Well, especially if you only have 1 runway, because then you can land a plane, and then you have to wait for the one to go taxi in, and then take the plane out, and then you got to wait for that to take off, and then you can taxi one, fly one in, and so on and so forth. I don't know. 2 runways, 3 runways would have been better than 1, especially. What if they were both open? But they said they need on the ground support from the Afghan forces to maintain the other airport, so that's the reason for closing it. Anyway, Milley has laid out the military's priority where that came from: the Biden White House. The military's job was then to determine how to carry out its tasks. Relevant to all this, Senator Mitch McConnell says Biden overrode his military commanders when he decided how to withdraw from Afghanistan. If we were to keep both Bagram and the embassy going, that would have been a significant number of military forces. That may have exceeded what we had or stayed the same as what we had, Milley continued. So you had to collapse one or the other, and then the decision was made. The proposal was made from CENTCOM commander and the commander on the ground, Scotty Miller, to go ahead and collapse Bagram. That was all briefed and approved, and we estimated that the risk of going out of Kaya, the Karzai International Airport, or the risk of going out of Bagram were about the same. So we're going out of Kaya. Going out of Kaya was the better tactical solution, in accordance with getting the troops down to 600, 700 number. Who set that number and why? It's a rhetorical question. We know the White House set that number. And the choice there's an article of why the choice to abandon Bagram makes little sense. You can check that out your own. It'll be in the tab below. Now, this is an interesting article from the Daily Caller about how and I'll finish up with this. White House messaging on Afghanistan gets a massive and rapid makeover. The White House, amid the Taliban's rapid takeover, is engaged in a messaging makeover as it attempts to ward off criticism over U.S. troops' drawdown from Afghanistan. You think? The Taliban quickly gained control of major cities throughout the region, entering Kabul on August 15th, and ultimately declaring victory. President Biden denied that the swift takeover caught him and his administration off guard during the speech Monday, but his comments sharply contrasted with the ones he made on July 8th. Do we have this? Here's July 8th. Or maybe not. There's going to be an ad. Damn it. Okay, hang on. Whoa. All right. Cedar Rapids. How long is this Cedar Rapids commercial? I don't know why they keep giving me ads for Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Maybe we'll do a one-day or a trip down there one of these days, but I don't think I'll be doing any fake rock climbing. Is it done yet? Come on. Cedar Rapids. Tourism. Oh, good Lord. All right, here we go. Maybe.
It's another day.
Oh my God! What's with the ads? What is this? Is this? Oh, because it's not YouTube. Because I don't get ads on my YouTube. Is this YouTube? No, this is. Good Lord. Sorry, guys. All right, here we go.
The community has assessed that the Afghan government will likely collapse.
That is not true.
So this is his messaging on. What's the date? July 8th, 2021. This is the confidence of Joe Biden. Here, now, as you listen to this, think about the events on the ground and what's happening as of today.
Can you please clarify what they have told you about whether that will happen or not?
That is not true.
Oh.
They did not reach that conclusion.
What is?
Wait a minute. Didn't he just tell? Wait, what's she asking? Let's check her question again, because.
Community has assessed that the Afghan government will likely collapse.
That is not true.
Can you please clarify what they have told you about whether that will happen or not?
That is not true. They did not.
Didn't he just tell George that was a they always knew that was a possibility? I could have sworn he just told that to George Stephanopoulos. By the way, FTG Joe Biden. Yes, FTG Biden Harris.
They did not reach that conclusion.
What is the level of confidence that they have that it will not collapse?
The Afghan government and leadership has to come together. They clearly have the capacity to sustain the government in place. The question is, will they generate the kind of cohesion to do it? It's not a question of whether they have the capacity. They have the capacity. They have the forces. They have the equipment. The question is, will they do it? And I want to make clear what I made clear to Ghani, that we are not going to walk away and not sustain their ability to maintain that force.
Hang on, Renee. I just saw your breaking news, and I'm gonna see if I can find that. Sorry, gang. We all know Joe Biden is having his issues right now, but apparently there is. It's not on Twitter. Hang on a second here. Here it is. U.S. Media Alert, Capitol Police. There's an ongoing investigation. This is breaking news as of just less than an hour ago. We are monitoring the situation closely and will update. Oh, here we go. U.S. Capitol Police responding to a suspicious vehicle near the Library of Congress. Please stay away from this area and follow this account for latest information. I got to tell you something. What the first thing that comes to mind when I see this? What's the name of this stream again? Remember the name of this stream? Hang on a second here. Oh, you can't see that, can you? Biden desperately wants to change the subject. Now, what's all the talk been about in domestic circles? Yes, Renee, distraction. They're responding to a suspicious vehicle near the Library of Congress. And can they make the headlines about the insurrectionists? Media alert. This is an active bomb threat investigation. The staging area for journalists covering this situation is at Constitution and 1st Street, Northwest. For your safety, please continue to avoid the area around the Library of Congress. We're still working on this investigation. We will update you as soon as we have information we can release to the public. And so now let's see what I'm just curious about the responses, because I want to see how long it takes to get a Trump, insurrectionist or something having to do with the right-wing extremists. And is this just another FBI operation? So here's some responses down here. Don't open the doors for them. Don't open the doors for them this time. The very first one. And this was, they did not open the doors. Yeah, they did. Watch every video in this thread and get back to me. Yeah, this is so anyway, this is just a video of them letting people in. The building is near the Capitol and the Supreme Court. The police has also been evacuated the Cannon office building. Congress is on break this week. Please be careful. Possibly one of those, quote, patriots, end quote, who beat you with your own flag on January 6th, with our own flag. Yeah, I don't mean to laugh at this, but it's interesting. It's not, let me see if it's in Twitter trending or Twitter news. George Stephanopoulos is trending right now. Biden humiliates himself in Afghan withdrawal in presidency defining interview with George Stephanopoulos. That's where you got the full transcript. I'm going to put that in the chat too. The full transcript of Joe Biden's interview with George Stephanopoulos is here. That'll be in the tabs, but that's not what I'm looking for right now. I want to see if it's in Twitter, if it's trending on Twitter yet, or if it's in the top news yet. So this is back in the news tab. That's for you, trending. Let's see if it's under trending here. The Eternals, nope, not here. Library of Congress is trending. There we go. So, according to the AP, police are investigating a report of a possible explosive device in a pickup truck near the Library of Congress in Washington, D.C. The area around the building has been evacuated. Let's go into their article here. Police were investigating a report Thursday of a possible explosive device in a pickup truck. Library of Congress on Capitol Hill and have evacuated multiple buildings in the sprawling Capitol complex. Two law enforcement officials told the Associated Press. U.S. Capitol Police said officers were responding to a suspicious vehicle near the Library of Congress and that it was an active bomb threat investigation. The building is near the Capitol and the Supreme Court. Police have also evacuated congressional offices nearby, encouraging people to maintain calm and use the underground tunnels if necessary to leave the area. Staffers were seen quickly walking out of nearby buildings at the direction of law enforcement. Congress is on recess this week. Law enforcement officials said investigators on the scene are working to determine whether the device was an operable explosive and whether the man in the truck was holding a detonator. Police were sending snipers to the scene, according to the officials. The officials were not authorized to publicly discuss the matter and spoke on conditions of anonymity. The area was blocked off by police cars and barricades, and multiple fire trucks and ambulances were staged nearby. Also responding were the District of Columbia's Metropolitan Police, FBI, and Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives. They added an E to the ATF. The White House said it was monitoring the situation and was being briefed by law enforcement. The incident The incident comes months after a pipe bomb was left at the headquarters of the Democratic National Committee and the Republican National Committee in Washington a day before thousands of pro-Trump rioters stormed the U.S. Capitol in January. Well, you had to make sure you got that in there, AP. All right, is there anything else on this? Capitol Police, we already did that. Jim Sciutto, or whatever, he's CNN anchor for national security. New police are responding to the claim of explosive device in a truck near a Library of Congress. They're setting negotiators to engage with a man in the truck making the threat. Congressional staffers have been alerted to shelter their offices. Here's the just one picture they have from CNN. Looks like they're staging away near the area. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting because, by the way, AOC is in mortal danger, I think, because, you know, she's in New York. But, you know, just the thought of it gives her PTSD. So let's see. The Library of Congress, Madison Building, ordered to evacuate. Security alert just sent employees to the Library of Congress, Madison Building. Here, let's get the latest on this. Just see if there's any new information. Okay, this is just someone says peace and safety. Oh, Gateway Pundit. What the? This is just some. Here's some reactions that I'm just when you do the latest tab, you're just getting the reactions. What the F? We're watching Afghanistan on the news while our Library of Congress is under a bomb threat. This is what D.C. Capitol Police are investigating reports of a bomb threat near the Library of Congress. Police were investigating a possible explosive device in a truck. So it's still saying a possible explosive device. And they're saying it's an ongoing bomb threat. Bomb squad on the scene. It doesn't look like there's any new information other than people continuing to repeat the information. Police probing report of explosive in a truck near Library of Congress. So we don't even have confirmation that there is explosives. But yeah. Well, let's just hope that this is not real and just one of those things that turn into a distraction. By the way, I'm also leaving, if you're on Twitter, I'm leaving this thread about, let's finish with this, because this is the one that came up when I looked at, I happened to look at Twitter just before I came on. This was the last one, and I'll leave this article up. It'll be interesting on this. So, leaked Bank of America. This would have been great for yesterday, but I didn't have it yesterday. I have it today. So, Bank of America is telling employees the U.S. is a white supremacist and to get woke at work. Now that's I'm sure that's some editorial commentary by the post-millennial, but newly leaked documents reveal that the Bank of America executives are making employees go through lessons that tell them that the USA is a racist country and that they must prioritize racial privilege in their worldviews. Christopher Rufo has been a leading voice in the pushback against critical race theory for some time now. His previous hits, including exposing Raytheon and Disney for enforcing far-left ideological agendas at the workplace. Bank of America happens to be next in line for the spotlight. Well, we did also have, what was the one yesterday? Or a couple days ago, American Express. Anyway, Bank of America Corporation teaches employees that the United States is a system of white supremacy, promotes the abolishment of the police, and instructs workers to decolonize their minds and become woke at work. Earlier this year, Bank of America and the United Way implemented a race re-education program called United in Action, encouraging employees to participate in a racial equity. Whenever you hear equity, run 21-day challenge built on the principles of critical race theory and intersectionality. Rufo specifies that Bank of America's North Carolina and Charlotte market president instituted this racial equity 21-day challenge earlier this year. The teachings are the same as usually anticipated when dealing with the CRT subject matter. It's taught that white people have an advantage with their skin color, no matter how rich or poor they are. The Bank of America materials even target children, saying white toddlers as early as age 3 have potential racial biases. Rufo reveals that the Bank of America tells employees that the USA is a racialized society currently, that it hasn't moved beyond that since the era of Martin Luther King's prominence. While Bank of America elevates whites, it also asserts they're more guilty, anxious, and shameful of their position. It also they absolve all people of color from ever being capable of racism whatsoever. And there's the summary of that. People of color on the other, in Rufo's write-up. People of color, on the other hand, cannot be racist because racism is used to justify the position of the dominant group and to uphold white supremacy and superiority. Therefore, the discussion guide claims, quote, reverse racism and discrimination are not impossible. Well, it's not reverse racism. It's just racism. And this shit drives me insane. It's like, look, by constantly harping on this, you're kind of trying to, almost as though you confirm that whites are supreme and superior because they can hold they are so superior and supreme that they can hold me down, you know? And I just refuse to believe that. Sorry, white people in my audience, I refuse to believe that you are supreme for me, and I believe that you have superiority because I know you don't. I know that I'm pretty damn exciting and capable and, whatever other words. I can't think of words, but I can do all that other shit. I'm a capable motherfucker. And I don't, ain't nobody gonna break my stride. Ain't nobody gonna hold me. I don't even know the song. Nobody gonna hold me down. Oh no, I got to keep on moving. That was terrible. Holy shit. I'm sorry that you had to hear that. And please, please wipe the blood from your ears. Anyway, I can't do it anymore because I got to go. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to leave it at that. That article will be there. You can read it yourself. And it's weird how these companies they're starting to try to enforce this. Remember about 5 years ago when on YouTube there was a lot of people railing against the SJWs and some people were like, oh yeah, the anti-SJWs finally are winning this battle. We completely lost the battle. We completely lost the battle, folks. I'm sorry. This battle is fucked up. Hello, Canon Hotep. How you doing? Nice to see you. I haven't seen it, but I've watched your last couple videos, and they're very good. Go subscribe to Canon Hotep. Nobody's holding me. This ideology, this whole, and whether it's technically critical race theory or not, or if it's technically anti-racism or not, it almost reinforces racist ideas in people that force me and people like me to think of people, oh my God, are they really that superior that they can hold me back? Are they, it gets people to start believing this shit instead of believing in themselves. I'd much rather people believe in themselves and do for themselves and do for their, and if you want to improve your community, or you want to improve your lot in life, sorry, white people, you're not going to stop me. Ain't happening. I'm going to do for me and my family, and I'm going to do. There's nothing you can do to stop me. There is no invisible force that the shine off your melanin. Let's see what I used to say. Not melanin deficient, because I don't want to say you're melanin deficient. I'm just saying non-melanin enhanced skin can hold me back, okay? and no matter how, even though I don't have as much melanin as some of my brothers and sisters, we all have the ability to live our lives with promise and goals and effort that get us somewhere better than where we are the day before. There's nothing that any person's even thoughts of supremacy can do to stop me from that or stop you from that, regardless of where you are. Even if you're not, because, some of the poor white people got to think that way too, that you can achieve. It's not about, the rich man's not holding you down. That's the whole critical theory that the classes, the certain class holds the other class down. Well, that's not true either. And particularly, as long as we can keep it in an American society where social mobility, people move up and down all the time. There's so many examples. Maybe we should just start talking about the examples of the people who started from dirt and are living in gold. There's a lot of people like that because they had either the idea or they just had the drive to do that. Anyway, that's all I'm gonna say about that today, because it's time for me to go. But tomorrow on the Morning Night Live, I'm not sure if I can't remember what time Lady Boomer is supposed to be at work tomorrow, so I won't have a guest. But I'm not going to do a call-in show tomorrow. Well, we'll see. Maybe I will. It's all right. This situation is fluid, and that's it for today, guys. Anyway, thank you so much for being here today at the Morning Night Live. Please, if you haven't done so already, hit the like button before you go. Share the stream, share this, share the channel, do whatever you do. Help me, continue to help me grow like you've so generously have so far. And you can sponsor the show. You can look down in the description down below to figure that out. Before the outro is over, I will have all of these tabs that I have open in a single link in the second paragraph of the description in the one tab link. So that's it for today, people. Gotta go. My name is PDawgKnight, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Have a great day. See you tomorrow. Hey, this is PDawgKnight, and thank you for watching today on the PDawgKnight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cashapp, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDawgKnight, and I'm out of here.